Good morning. In our last TBT, Toolbox Talk, we were speaking about PPE, personal protective equipments. Especially, we spoke about gloves. Gloves is a safety equipment, but it causes some accidents. As an example, last time I told when I was working in drilling machine, I got accident because of gloves. Gloves is a safety equipment, but it shouldn't cause one accident to us because it is a cloth type thing. Gloves are different types. Gloves are there. Rubber gloves are there. Cotton gloves are there. Welding gloves are there. That kind of so many different types of gloves are there, and very slight. It means doctors, nurses are using one kind of gloves that is not practical in fabrication field. Even if different types of gloves are there, so we have to think what kind of gloves we have to use. If we have to work with the oil, grease, acids, that kind of thing, we have to wear rubber gloves. For ordinary fabrication, we have to use cotton gloves, ordinary gloves. And if it is some more hot things, it means if we weld, spattering will come out. Its flux will be thrown out from welding. Those are hot particles. It may affect our hand. Those times we have to wear welding gloves. That kind of gloves has to be worn at the time of gas cutting also, plastic cutting also, because its cutting material will come out. It may fall in our hands. So those times we have to wear. But I told when we work with the drilling machine, there one drill bit is rotating. If we bring our hand very near to drill bit, it's loose particles, hand gloves, loose portions may be caught by drill bit, and drill bit may be making an accident to our hand. Once it has happened, last time I told that time, my hand and its fingers have been rotated by this drill bit. Everybody knows it is rotating in a high RPM. It won't be stopped because one motor is working. From motor, pulley connection will be going to drill bit's top shaft, so it won't be stopped with the manual force. If we have to stop it, we have to switch off the proper switch on. Otherwise, it won't be stopped. But our hand is being caught by drilling machine. It may be stopped. How? Gloves, hand, these particles will be reaching very near to job. Job will try to, and the drill bit will try to make our hand rotate, finger rotate. It will be rotated around chuck, around the drill bit, and our hands may be damaged. Hands will be spoiled. There will be wounds. Sometimes fingers may be lost. Sometimes wound may be occurred. Sometimes the shape of the fingers may be changed. Now our hands are having in this type of straight. We can keep it in straight portion, and we can make it rotate to, or we can change our fingers to this direction. Sometimes its shape may be changed to its back side. What will happen, we don't know. That time I got one accident. So be careful when we work very near to a rotation portion, especially drilling machine. At the time of drilling, at the time of lathe machining, at the time of grinding, all time, we have to, most of the time, we have to wear gloves. But if we think it may cause accident, from that time itself, we have to remove our gloves and we have to work. Or we shouldn't take our hands very near to this rotation portion. That is the brilliant thing we can do when we work around a drilling machine. And I have seen a man who was just fastening bolt and nut with a gloves. For fastening bolt to nut, no need of one gloves. Especially if we fasten, if we fasten means I am not telling that we are fastening it with the spanner. When we fasten it with the spanner, we have to compulsory use gloves. Sometimes it may be slipped, spanner may be slipped, it may make a big accident. I didn't say about it. When we work with the small bolts, nuts, especially M8, M6, less than M4, that kind of small bolts are there, nuts are there. That time if we use gloves, we can't keep our nuts into bolt because there is fingers and the gloves. It is having loose, it is having gap in between all glouses, all fingers portion, and our fingers are having a slight gap. If there is gap, we can insert our hands into gloves. In surgical gloves, doctors are using, nurses are using, it doesn't have gap. It's gloves, fingers area, and the person who was using it. The person who was using it, if he or if she insert his hand inside of that surgical gloves, there won't be gap. If we use that kind of gloves and we insert nut into bolt very easily, but if we use welding gloves or ordinary cotton gloves, it will be very difficult to insert. There won't be any accident. Accident won't happen. I am not indicating about accident. If we use gloves, sometimes we may use gloves, we may not use gloves when we insert nut to bolt. I am not indicating about fastening it with spanner. When we fasten it with the spanner, we have to compulsory use gloves. But when we insert the first thread to bolt, if we try to use gloves, we will take too much time. We will be losing manpower. But it won't happen for big bolts, big nuts. It means if it is a bolt of dia 30 mm or dia 40 mm or dia 50 mm or dia 100 mm, those times we can use gloves. We can easily insert nut to bolt. That we have to think. For thinking this, we told we have to use our own brain, we have to use our own head, we have to use our own heart, we have to use our own brilliant. For showing it, I told in last 2-3 episodes, I told about be brilliant like snake. Be brilliant like snake. It is a story which is being told in Bible. In that Bible, we can read, we have to be brilliant like snake. I am not indicating how is one snake is brilliant. In those episodes, I may have indicate. Next episode, I shall say how is one snake is brilliant. That way, we have to be brilliant. That time we can recognize whether we have to use gloves or we shouldn't use gloves. So I told most of the companies are saying most of the fabrication companies are saying there are only 4 compulsory PP. There are more mandatory PP. Those ones are helmet, goggles, coverall and safety shoe. Safety gloves is a compulsory PPE, but it has to be used on the time of proper time. It means safety helmet has to be worn always when we get into the factory up to the time when we get down. Goggles have to be used from the time of entering into fabrication factory and up to the time of getting down from fabrication factory. Safety helmet has to be worn like that. Safety goggles has to be worn like that. Coverall has to be worn like that. Safety shoe has to be worn like that. But gloves have to be with us always, but it has to be worn the time of proper time. Other times, no necessary. Sometimes if we wear it other times, it may spoil our time. For indicating about it, I told the story of inserting nut to bolt. So be careful, be brilliant like snake. How shall be brilliant like snake? This story can be explained in next EBT. Work safely, have a safe working day.